The need to understand others comes from the simple fact that everyone lies, sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for bad. If everyone always told the truth, we wouldn't need to figure each other out. But since that's not the case, knowing how to read people can help protect you from deception, manipulation, or hidden motives. It's an essential skill to navigate relationships with family, friends, coworkers, or even strangers. In this video, I will summarize a book called Read People Like a Book: How to Analyze, Understand, and Predict People's Emotions, Thoughts, Intentions, and Behaviors by Patrick King. And I also will tell you about all 5 strategies from the book that will make better understand people around you. First one, strategies for detecting lies. Reading between the lines is a valuable way to identify when someone might be lying. While there are tools to help spot lies, it's not an exact science because people are complicated and their reasons for lying vary. So, how can you tell when someone is lying? It's more than just looking for nervous behavior, like avoiding eye contact or fidgeting. It usually takes time and conversation to recognize the signs of dishonesty. Asking open-ended questions and listening for inconsistencies in their story can help expose a lie. Liars might provide too many details up front, but struggle when asked follow-up questions, revealing gaps in their story over time. Another way to catch a lie is to use the element of surprise. When you put a liar on the spot, it's harder for them to keep their story straight, and they might get flustered. Sudden changes in their behavior or nervous reactions can be revealing when they're caught off guard. Dealing with more experienced liars can be trickier. One strategy is to increase their cognitive load. Unlike telling the truth, lying requires more mental effort because they have to make up details. You can do this by asking tricky questions, giving them false information, or pressing them on things you know to be true. The goal is to make them juggle too many things at once, causing their story to fall apart. As researcher Jay Olson notes, using clever questioning can help uncover the truth. While detecting lies isn't foolproof, using strategic conversation, surprise, and mental challenges can help sharpen your skills and make it easier to spot when someone might be hiding the truth. Second, the art of reading facial expressions. While we often focus on words in conversation, our facial expressions and body language play just as big a role, sometimes even more. The saying, "Actions speak louder than words," highlights how our nonverbal signals, especially tiny, quick facial movements called micro-expressions, can reveal our true feelings. Micro-expressions are brief facial expressions that show our real emotions, often without us realizing it. For example, a slight smile and crinkling around the eyes might indicate happiness. These subtle cues can be easy to miss but offer genuine insight into what someone feels. Body language is also a key part of communication. Joe Navarro, a former FBI agent, became an expert at reading body language after moving to the US from Cuba and having to learn English. He studied how people's gestures, postures, and movements often reveal what they're really thinking, especially when their words don't match their body. If you want to understand nonverbal communication better, try these 4 steps. 1. Learn the baseline. Observe someone's usual behavior to understand their normal gestures and expressions. 2. Spot changes. Pay attention to any shifts in their behavior, like a normally calm person suddenly fidgeting. 3. Gather context. Don't make assumptions based on one action. Look at the broader context to get a more accurate picture. 4. Watch for mirroring. If someone starts copying your gestures, it's a sign they might be agreeing with you or building a connection. So, while listening is important, watching and interpreting people's body language can give you a deeper understanding of what they're really feeling. Third, how to quickly build rapport. Every action we take is driven by hidden motivations, influencing our decisions. Understanding these underlying motives can give you a clearer picture of why people behave a certain way and how their actions impact you. 3 key psychological concepts can help unravel these motives: the shadow self, the inner child, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. First, let's look at the shadow self. Carl Jung described it as the parts of ourselves that we keep hidden. For example, a student who has always been the perfect child might suddenly start breaking rules. This is his shadow expressing a long-suppressed desire for freedom. By recognizing that everyone has a shadow side, you can better understand their actions and communicate with them more effectively. Inner child. While it can seem similar to the shadow, it's different. The inner child reflects our early life experiences and how those memories shape our adult reactions. For instance, a coworker might burst into tears after a small critique because it triggers memories of being mocked as a child. A friend's sudden anger might be tied to old wounds from past traumas. Recognizing when the inner child is influencing someone's reaction can help you respond with empathy and avoid taking things personally. Lastly, there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is like a ladder of human needs, starting with basic needs like food and shelter, and climbing up to emotional needs like belonging and self-esteem. At the top is self-actualization, where someone focuses on reaching their full potential. Understanding where a person is on this ladder can guide how you interact with them. For example, whether they need practical help or are seeking deeper meaning in life. By understanding these 3 concepts, you can better understand what drives people's behavior, find your role in different situations, and respond thoughtfully. Fourth, techniques for understanding emotions and intentions. Have you ever noticed how some people naturally draw attention while others prefer to quietly observe from the sidelines? These behaviors aren't just random. They reflect deeper personality patterns. Personality is made up of various traits and tendencies that develop over time, offering insight into where people fall on different behavioral spectrums. By observing consistent actions or preferences, you can learn more about a person's overall character. Understanding personality can seem complicated, but personality tests can help make sense of it. 3 well-known and reliable tests are the Big 5, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, and David Kiersey's 4 temperaments. The Big 5 model is based on years of research and breaks personality down into 5 key traits: openness to new experiences, conscientiousness, how organized and detail-oriented someone is, extroversion versus introversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, emotional stability. Each trait is a spectrum, making human personalities diverse and unique. The MBTI offers another way to understand personality using 4 pairs of traits: extroverted versus introverted, sensing versus intuition, thinking versus feeling, and judging versus perceiving. For example, an ESTJ, extroverted, sensing, thinking, judging, is practical and organized, while an INFP, introverted, intuitive, feeling, perceiving, is reflective and idealistic. Keep in mind, though, that personalities can change over time with different experiences. David Kiersey added another layer to understanding personality through his 4 temperaments, grouping people into 4 types: guardians, community-focused, artisans, spontaneous, idealists, introspective, and rationals, knowledge-driven. He believed that by understanding these temperaments, people could better understand themselves and even make intentional changes to their personalities. Fifth, deciphering body language cues. Every second offers a chance to understand people better, even when time is short. While getting to know someone's true character often takes time, there are ways to make accurate judgments quickly, sometimes in just minutes or seconds. Learning to observe well in these brief moments can make a big difference. One key technique is thin slicing, recognizing important patterns from small amounts of information. Imagine you're in a job interview and you quickly sense that something feels off about the interviewer. Instead of rushing to conclusions, you arrange a follow-up meeting to gather more information. You notice subtle signs like awkward body language or inconsistent stories, which prompt you to research the company further. This investigation reveals a troubling history, like a previous employee leaving due to harassment. Your quick intuition combined with a deeper dive helps you make an informed decision. That's thin slicing in action. However, quick insights aren't always enough, so it helps to pay attention to everyday behaviors too. A simple example is analyzing how people communicate through text or email. The words they choose can say a lot about them. Frequent negativity might suggest anxiety, while balanced language might indicate a positive mindset. On the flip side, using overly fancy words could be an attempt to hide a lack of knowledge or appear smarter than they are. You can also practice cold reading, noticing what people's clothes or possessions say about them. Someone's clothing can hint at their cultural background, social class, career goals, or beliefs. Their home and what's inside can also be revealing. High-end art might signal a desire for status, while self-help books suggest a focus on personal growth. Messy spaces with empty bottles might reflect stress or a lack of discipline. Another source of clues is a person's online presence. A travel photo might reveal a love for adventure, while emails sent late at night could indicate a night owl struggling with their sleep schedule. A polished LinkedIn profile might show their professional ambitions, and you can compare this online image with how they behave in person. In the end, mastering the skill of observation means paying attention to the small signals people constantly send out. As you refine this skill, you'll better understand the people around you and handle relationships more smoothly. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave your like, and don't forget to subscribe.